As we were just discussing, yesterday's gunfire at an ICE facility in Dallas was no accident. A bullet casing marked anti-ICE was found by investigators, and it's raising fears in the immigration enforcement is now a direct target. Here to help make sense of this and the meaning for asylum seekers and immigrant community is we're joined by Anton Flores Masonette, the executive director of Casa Alterna, a ministry based right here in Decatur. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Anton, when you first heard about this attack on a Dallas facility, what went through your mind as someone who works very closely with immigrant families?
Well, actually, not just when, but where I first heard about it as I and a group of volunteers were standing outside the Atlanta ICE field office. It was actually ICE officers who encouraged us to leave, informing us that there had been a shooting at the Dallas facility. Our team of volunteers compassionately place themselves there outside the gates of the ICE field office each and every morning as anywhere from 20 to 80 immigrants stand outside the gates, all in removal proceedings. And so we try to stand there in solidarity and in support with those individuals that are there.
Yeah, how does an incident like this heighten the sense of fear and vulnerability for asylum seekers that are already trying to navigate an uncertain type of system here?
Well, what was interesting yesterday is, again, that our volunteers were informed about the shooting and we were encouraged and compassionately encouraged to leave, but nothing changed in terms of the way ICE conducted its business at the Atlanta field office. They did not close their building. They did not usher the individuals who were there to do their ICE check-ins indoors or ask them to leave. It was only our volunteers. But I can say that even prior to this, I mean, the climate outside the Atlanta field office is one where the anxiety and the fear is palpable. I mean, you can just tell that the current policies and tactics of this administration have led to heightened fear and anxiety amongst immigrant communities.
Yeah, we know that one of the injured was a Mexican national. How do moments like this ripple through the immigrant communities right here in Georgia?
I find that most immigrants hold to the very ideals that we as Americans claim to espouse. No one wants violence. No one wants to see violence escalate on any side of the spectrum. But immigrants also know that they are in the literal crosshairs of political violence as it deals with policies, laws, and a lot of anti-immigrant rhetoric. And what we're seeing as the increase, not just dehumanization, but demonization of immigrants.
Yeah. Do you think an attack like this will complicate the debate between immigration enforcement and human rights?
I hope not. I mean, I've always held to a Kingian nonviolence perspective. We are out there trying to humanize. And so I think that what is needed on all sides of the equation right now is to definitely end the demonization of individuals and the dehumanization of groups of people. But what we do need to have an honest discussion about are what are the root causes of migration? What are the forces of displacement that is happening around the world? And how do we, as a nation built by immigrants and a nation that purports to be based on democracy, how do we show to the world a model of what it looks like to be an interdependent, coexisting, nation states, rather than scapegoating the most vulnerable around the world, who are often the ones that are the victims of displacement from their home countries, and then dehumanization, and now increasingly demonization in our own country.
Yeah, that was in Dallas. The climate here. Do you now think that something like that could happen here?
Something like that could happen anywhere in the United States, so long as both ends of the political spectrum continue to demonize immigrants and dehumanize and fail to address the root causes of migration. But that being said, my faith teaches me, and my commitment to immigrants teach me that this is not the time to cower in fear. This is the exact opposite. This is the time for us to stand on the side of love. Our tagline is "Love crosses borders," and so when we were asked to leave the ICE office yesterday, we chose to stay there so long as there were immigrants still outside the field office. And I think that's an important posture, because if we, as just general citizens, begin to react to the news of this with fear, then hate wins. But if we stand on the side of love and we come off our sofas and we get onto the streets and we demonstrate a humanizing posture, I would love to see that be the force that compels us forward and moves us out of this increasingly polarized climate on both sides of the political equation.
Yeah. Anton Flores, Masonette, thanks so much for your insight. Thanks for joining us today, okay?